Maharashtra Assembly will take place on the 20th of November and the results will be declared on the 23rd. NCP Ajit Pawar faction has fielded Nawab Malik from Mankhurd, Shivajinagar Assembly constituency. The Shiv Sena, led by Chief Minister Eknath Shinde, released its third list of 15 candidates on Monday evening, that's the 28th of October, just ahead of the nomination deadline for the Assembly elections on November 20th. Now, this list includes the Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson Sena NC and Sanjana Jadhav, daughter of former Union Minister and BJP leader Rao Sahib Danwe. Sena NC will be running from the Mumbai Devi constituency in Mumbai, where her main opponent is the incumbent Congress MLA Amin Patel. The most spectacular contest will be in Baramati, where Ajit Pawar will be facing Sharad Pawar's grandson Yogendra Pawar. The second most interesting battle will be in Kopri, Panchpakhari, seat of Thane, where Chief Minister Eknath Shinde will be facing Kedar Dighe, the nephew of his political guru Anand Dighe. Kedar Dighe has been fielded by the Uddhav Thackeray's Shiv Sena. Stage is all set for high-stakes battle in Mumbai's Worli Assembly constituency as Rajya Sabha member Milind Deora of the ruling Shiv Sena filed his nomination earlier in the day and will be taking on sitting MLA Aditya Thackeray of the Uddhav Balasaheb Thackeray Sena. The fights are interesting. In fact, there could be a friendly fight even in Mankhurd, where NCP has fielded this person, Nawab Malik, who's been alleged to have dealings, and there have been huge amounts of controversy in the past. He's called Prime Minister Narendra Modi a lot of names. He's taken a very strong position against also personal attack against Mrs. Fadnavis, the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Devendra Fadnavis's wife, the current Deputy Chief Minister's wife. He has taken pot shots, personal pot shots. And amidst all of this, him getting a ticket and him also wanting to file his nomination papers. Yes, there is time for withdrawal of nominations. Only one candidate may feature from the UT. There is a lot of tussle, and some of these seats are still not settled, with probable candidates, all of them going ahead and filing nominations. And this is not unique only to the Mahayuti. There is also still a lot of difference and a lot of question mark up in the air as far as the Mahavikas Aghadi is concerned. Now, the India bloc seat sharing formula. Congress will fight on 102 seats, UBT, Sena and NCP Sharad Pawar to fight on 87 seats each. The deadline for the nominations has ended, but it is still unclear on who has filed the nomination from 12 seats, because this totals up to 276. The total number is 288. And in those 12 seats, Samajwadi Party has declared its 5 candidates, 2 candidates from the CPI and 5 seats from the Peasant and Workers Party. So that's how the remaining 12 seats seem to be distributed, but who's going to contest from where? It's not yet. It's a little up in the air yet. In the NDA or the Mahayuti, the BJP will be fighting on 152 seats, Shinde Sena on 80 seats, the NCP Sharad Pawar as of now on 51 seats. Now that totals up to about 283, ladies and gentlemen, and there is still not clarity enough on 4 seats or 5 seats. Now ideally that should be 152, 80 and 52, but there is still a huge question mark on that Mankhurd seat also. Which way is that going also? Now it's still unclear on which candidate will be fielded in about 4 or 5 seats, let's say, in that entire equation, so that it totals up to 288. Let's listen into some of the reactions before we get into this entire debate on whether the Maharashtra election currently, 1, is too close to call, 2, it's bereft of any political ideology or position that would be taken, whereas anybody and everybody who seems to have a semblance of winnability will get a ticket. Are both sides so desperate for wins?
I think what we have to fight against, which goes beyond a local battle, is to ensure that this speed breaker politics has to come to an end. Opposing things for the sake of opposing is not good politics. That's something we have to fight against.
महाराष्ट्रामध्ये महायुतीचं सरकार येईल. आमचे ते सगळे घटक पक्ष या ठिकाणी महायुतीचं सरकार आणतील.
हमारी लड़ाई बीजेपी के साथ है. हमारी लड़ाई किसी एक व्यक्ति के साथ नहीं. मुझे नहीं लगता ये पवार वर्सेस पवार है. ये एनसीपी महाराष्ट्र वर्सेस बीजेपी अदृश्य शक्ति है.
Charu Pragya, national spokesperson of the BJP with us, Anish Gawande, spokesperson of the NCP, Sharad Pawar with us, Krishna Hegde, spokesperson of the Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde group or the With us, we should have Rashid Kidwai also joining us. Namaste and Jai Hind to everybody and Shubh Dhanteras. It's the festive season, plenty of festivities all around. But which way will luck roll? Which way will the ball turn? Now, all of these are questions that are being asked by everyone. So let me first ask Anish, what's your thought process? Why are these 12 seats still unsettled? Are we going to witness a lot of friendly fights even within the Aghadi?
Anand, firstly, thank you so much for having me on your show. It's my first time here and it's very lovely to see Charu and others who are very dear friends on the show as well.
Yeah, Anish, within 2 weeks, you also had switched camps. So it took me also by surprise, I must say that. But you're welcome on the right side. Go ahead, please.
Thank you very, very much. No, so, I think this has been an unprecedented election, right, Anand? I think there's no denying that in many ways, this has been an election with a very large number of defections, a very large number of people switching sides. As to whether or not those 12 seats are going to be contested on friendly fights, only the 9th of November will tell. I think it'll be a silly thing on my part to pull something out of a drawing hat.
I'm just curious. I have to ask you, and I know I'm going beyond my brief a bit. Allow me to stretch it a bit. Where is your vote? Is your vote in Worli?
My vote is in Mahim, thankfully.
So you're safe there, aren't you?
Where the lovely candidate from the Shiv Sena has filed 2 nominations, one as an independent and one as a Shiv Sena Eknath Shinde candidate. So, this is a rough and tumble election. But I think the reality is that this is an ideological fight. This is a fight about the party's ideologies and whether or not people believe in them and a show of strength. And it's a question of which alliance delivers on governance better. You've got the people of Maharashtra who've seen 2.5 years of the Mahayuti's government. They've seen 2.5 years of the Mahavikas Aghadi's government. And now the ball is very literally in their courts. But all in all, a very messy election.
But it cannot be, you can't even call it an ideological fight. It's not. It's somewhere personal because there is no ideology on either side. Because there are ideological clashes or ideological opposites and poles apart on either side, be it the Mahayuti or the Mahavikas Aghadi. See, you are saved that you don't have your vote in Worli. Otherwise, I would have asked you, who are you going to vote for? Because it would have been a conundrum. See, this is something which many people are going to face. You worked very closely with one of the candidates. And you are now batting for
Milind still remains a dear friend.
Yeah, I didn't take the name, you took the name. But
I've taken the name multiple times.
And now you are batting from the other side. ये team का पलटी इतना सब कुछ हो रहा है, sir. So let me just take this forward. Krishna Hegde ji, are you going to get confused on if people working close to Neta cadre are going to be so confused? How confused is the voter going to be? Is there an effort to try and keep singular symbols in certain constituencies? Is that a concerted strategy that Shaina NC is fighting under the Eknath Shinde or the bow and arrow, even though she is a member of the BJP, so that there aren't multiple symbols and there is one single symbol? Is that an effort? Then what is happening in Mankhurd? आपकी पार्टी ने भी कैंडिडेट फील्ड किया, अभी नवाब मलिक ने भी नॉमिनेशन भर दिया. What's happening there?
Anand, first let me tell you that there is no confusion at all. The Shiv Sena and the Bharatiya Janata Party are together since 1987 and we are ideologically together. Now it is the NCP which has broken and Ajit Pawar has come with us, considering that he is accepting Narendra Modi ji as our leader, as our Prime Minister, and therefore in the Lok Sabha elections also he was with us, and Sharad Pawar Sahab was on the other side. Let me also tell you regarding Nawab Malik. Devendra Fadnavis ji had shown opposition to him. He wrote an open letter about the induction of Nawab Malik ji into the Mahayuti. Nawab Malik has now claimed that he's got the AB from the Ajit Pawar faction. But however, the official candidate right now in that seat, that is the Mankhurd Shivaji Nagar seat, is Suresh Patil, who is an ex-corporator from our party, and he is the official candidate, and both the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Shiv Sena will be backing Suresh Patil. Thirdly, let me also tell you that Sana Malik, who is the daughter of Nawab Malik, is fighting from the Anushakti Nagar constituency, which is his traditional constituency, and therefore she is fighting from the constituency. There is no confusion at all. The confusion lies with the Mahavikas Aghadi, where Sachin Sawant and Kishan Chand Tanwani, both who got tickets from the Mahavikas Aghadi and got AB forms, have refused to fight from Sambhaji Nagar and Andheri West seat respectively, saying very clearly that we are not going to win the election and therefore we do not want to contest after getting the ticket. And therefore it is very clear that for the work done by the Mahayuti government in the last 2.5 years, all the welfare schemes, the infrastructure, the industry, and every sector, whether it's the farmers, the Marathas or the OBC reservation, we are going to romp back into power with 200 out of the 288 seats.
So there is no confusion in Mankhurd? I was given to understand that Eknath Shinde faction and Nawab Malik, so both of them have filed their nomination.
No. See, the last date of withdrawal is the 4th of November, not the 9th of November, as Ani said. But let me also say that Nawab Malik has just filed his nomination. We will be speaking to Ajit Dada. We'll sort this matter out. Doodh ka doodh aur pani ka pani ho jayega. There are 4 days left for this.
नहीं, sort the matter out यानी क्या होगा? पहले ही मालूम था सीट आपकी है, तो फिर नॉमिनेशन क्यों फाइल किया? कल तक तो नवाब मलिक was not even talking about his own nomination. He said कि मेरी बेटी लड़ रही है, उससे बड़ी बात एक बाप के लिए क्या हो सकती है? और आज अचानक ये गुगली आ गई. So clearly all is not well like you are trying to portray it, na sir?
Anand, we know how to swing these googlies around the park, so there is no issue at all. And therefore, let me tell you, his daughter is our official candidate, and Suresh Patil is the official candidate from that constituency, and there is no confusion.
No, daughter is
that.
the official candidate from Anushakti Nagar.
Anushakti
This
Nagar.
is Mankhurd, no?
Mankhurd is Suresh Patil is the official candidate from Shiv Sena, Eknath Shinde, and the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Oh, so then if Nawab Malik decides to fight, then what happens? Why has he filed his nomination then, if that's the case? So clearly all is not well, na?
No, we will speak to Nawab Bhai why he has filed a nomination. If he has to withdraw his nomination, he'll withdraw his nomination. If he does not want to withdraw his nomination, he will have a fight there. Let us see who will win.
So then clearly all is clearly all is not well. Let me just
Anand, let me tell you one thing. At least people are asking for our tickets and wanting to fight the elections. From their side, people who have got the tickets are also not wanting to fight the elections.
सर लेकिन फ्रेंडली फाइट में कभी कभी अपने को ही चोट लगती है, तो ये भी आपको समझना चाहिए. फायदा दूसरे का होता है.
वहाँ पर भी हम हेलीकॉप्टर शॉट खेल लेंगे, कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता.
सर कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा है, ओवर कॉन्फिडेंस अच्छा नहीं है. लोकसभा और हरियाणा ये दोनों पालों को सिखा दिया है, आप भी मानते हैं. So
I'll give the statistics also if you want.
Huh?
I'll give the statistics also if you want. The difference between us and the Mahavikas Agadi was 0.3% of votes,
sir,
and it was only 2.60 lakh votes. So
Rashid Kidwai ji is with us. He always says those who give vote share, that's the loser's philosophy, because it's first past the post and it's the number of seats that count. Now I'm just going to take this to Charu Pragya and then go across to Rashid Kidwai. Charu Pragya, ये तो बीजेपी सच में वॉशिंग मशीन है ना. दाऊद लिंक, ईडी, arrests, corruption, and what all he said about PM Narendra Modi and also Mrs. Fadnavis, and still.
Anand, good evening, and good evening to everyone on the panel as well. Sensationalism की बात नहीं है, the way you're trying to put it, but the fact is that there is no such thing as a friendly fight in elections, and those who are pretending they're in the middle of a friendly fight, no such thing exists. In BJP, our fraction of the Shiv Sena and our fraction of the NCP, one thing is clear, we are led by hard work and discipline. So when we say that we are going to form the government in Maharashtra, it is not said out of arrogance or overconfidence. It is said because we are working on the ground and our efforts are going to match the results. And that's the truth of it. See, we have seen, in spite of so much negative conversation around Lok Sabha results, the truth is, it is a Narendra Modi government third time in a row, and this is the only government in the entire world which has been repeated for a third time in a democratic country since World War II. So even though the opposition wants to downplay this, they want to talk about their 99 seats again and again, the fact is, it is a BJP-led government in power. For Maharashtra, yes, the citizens have seen both sides of governance. They have seen how it is to be led by the BJP Shiv Sena and how it is to be led by the other fraction. They were the ones who stalled projects. The bullet train got stalled. The industries got stalled. There was so much outrage everywhere. लेकिन रिजल्ट तो कुछ नहीं था ना. लेकिन जब हमारी power वापस आई, we saw deliverance, whether it is in the name of
See, I
infrastructure,
tell you, I'm
the
not,
bridges.
I don't have such acumen to understand your very, very detailed arguments and very, very highly erudite arguments, Charu Pragya. I'm a very simple voter. हम ये पूछेंगे धनुष बाण किसने तोड़ा, घड़ी पर घड़ी की बैटरी किसने निकाली, एंड एट द एंड ऑफ द डे आपने जिनको करप्ट कहा वो अब आपके पाले में बैटिंग कर रहे हैं, तो व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन? And if all is well, then why are two candidates fighting from the same constituency?
Right. Thank you for your question. Now, in a state with hundreds of seats, you're only talking about one constituency. So remember that. Another thing is we still have 4 days to go. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, it is not unheard of that on a seat or two, some deflection can happen. It's a free country. Everybody is allowed to contest. Jiska man kare, wo contest kar sakta as an independent. The second thing is, yes, there was a lot of confusion about symbols during Lok Sabha elections as well. But let's remember that after 2019, where BJP-led government got a clear majority in the state of Maharashtra in the Vidhan Sabha elections, this is the first election that's happening. I believe that then the citizens stood with BJP and Modi ji, and I believe that this time also the citizens stand with BJP and Modi ji, and the result will show it. The fact is, if it is an ideological fight, then here is a party which has never changed its ideology, which has never said that our basic motto of delivering good governance is changing. भाई बाकी तरफ तो सब कुछ बदल जा रहा है.
You can talk about good governance, but please don't talk about ideology, especially with respect to Maharashtra. The entire root seed, see the root seed, your parent body, it found its birth in Maharashtra. The RSS headquarters is in Maharashtra. The whole concept of Hindutva emerged out of Maharashtra. So much so that despite MS Golwalkar or Dr. Ji and, so I beg your pardon, even before that, Dr. Ji and this one not seeing eye to eye Veer Savarkar, you still come back and said we accept what Savarkar's definition of Hindu is, and that's what we would like to go. All of this has happened from Maharashtra. And today you have got with those, you're in alliance with those people who've got nothing to do with Hindutva, nothing to do with the RSS's or the BJP's core ideology. So you have sacrificed your ideology. Former Adarsh scam accused are part of your party now. Former irrigation scam accused are part of your party now. You had a very strong position against corruption. You've diluted that. But I'm not saying that this problem is there only with Mahayuti. It's also there with the Mahavikas Aghadi. Anish, I'll tell you what. No matter how many messages you show, for every one message that you show, there will be 3 messages that will come back at you. That's the unique situation that Maharashtra is in. Every party is in Maharashtra.
I have to show one piece. I have to show one article, which is Devendra Fadnavis's open letter in December against Nawab Malik.
Then sir, I have some 6 letters and 50 comments of what Mr. Sharad Pawar had said about Balasaheb Thackeray, vice versa, etc., etc., etc. It's a long list of etceteras. So I don't want to get into that.
Can I just say one very important thing, please?
Yes, please.
Because we are talking about ideology. Let me tell you the difference between our alliance and that of the opposition. In our alliance, to be a part of it, you have to join our ideology. Our ideology is not going to get diluted. So anybody who comes from the opposite side is going to speak the language that Modi ji is speaking at the center, that every Bharatiya Janata Party Karyakarta is speaking in every corner of the country. On the other side, however, it is the ideology which gets diluted. हम वीर सावरकर तब भी बोलते थे, हम आज भी बोलते हैं, but what has happened to Uddhav ji? He has completely changed his tone.
He has not changed his position on Savarkar. I will see. One aspect, Uddhav Thackeray and Aditya Thackeray have not changed their position on Savarkar. But Ajit Dada Pawar had a position to say where he said, I'm going to give 10% of our seats to Muslims. That he said, which is again deviating from the line of what Eknath Shinde or Devendra Fadnavis have said in Maharashtra. So these differences are there on both sides. Let's accept this. Let's not try and be in denial. But रशीद कितवाई, एक कहावत है हमारे कि शादी का लड्डू है ना उगले बनता है ना निगले बनता है. अब ये लड्डू जो है दोनों तरफ अटका हुआ लग रहा है, क्योंकि दोनों के पाले में ऐसे लोग हैं, देयर आर सच कैंडिडेट्स जो ना उगले बनते हैं ना निगले बनते हैं. ट्रू और फॉल्स? नाउ इन दिस केस व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन इन महाराष्ट्र?
Absolutely, Anand, you are absolutely right. There is a complete absence of ideology as far as the elections or positioning in Maharashtra are concerned. There is a lot of confusion. I think in this election, what the outcome is going to determine that which is a real Shiv Sena and which is a real NCP. So they're going to be a loser and they're going to be a winner, even if there is going to be another set of Khichdi Sarkar. So in that term, it has happened. You see, if a national security, if corruption in high places, if that is not a potent issue for a political party, then that political party cannot claim to be having some kind of ideological sharpness or ideological edge. And that is long and short of political parties in Maharashtra, particularly in terms of BJP. The BJP must admit that we have allies which are not ideologically compatible with us. But the BJP would not want to say that, because that is a position that would tell them that
What should the Congress
BJP
admit?
only a vehicle to win elections.
Let me ask you, what should the Congress admit? That the 87 seats that they are contesting, perhaps is that the biggest black hole? Will this be a Bihar repeat?
Yes, the Congress also has, but Congress says that Shiv Sena was not part of, even when it was part of Bala Saheb Thackeray, it was not part of Sangh Parivar, it was not part of the BJP, RSS, Bharatiya Janata Party ideology. Absence of ideology has been a hallmark of Shiv Sena. Shiv Sena during Thackeray's time was also
what the
known
Congress
as,
party has had to
Vasant
say
Sena.
about the Shiv Sena and what the Shiv Sena has to say about the Congress party, it's a litany of comments which, sir, by the time I download my computer will get overheated. So what I am asking you very clearly is, in these 87 seats, is this the biggest black hole that the Congress party is now creating in the Mahavikas Aghadi? Is the Congress the weakest link in the MVA post Haryana?
Not really, Anand. I think if you look
So who's
at
the
the Lok
weakest
Sabha
link?
performance, the Congress was a #1 political party.
So who's the
in terms
weakest
of,
link in the MVA?
So it was the strongest actually link in MVA.
It was. I am saying post Haryana.
It is not taking claim on the BJP on the chief ministerial post
रशीद जी,
also.
मैंने क्या पूछा? मैंने लोकसभा के बाद पूछा ही नहीं. मैंने पूछा कि हरियाणा के बाद who's the weakest link? Is Congress the weakest link in the MVA now post Haryana? That's what I asked you.
No, but that is, I think we are prejudging. I think the outcome will determine if Congress indeed
No, but
ends
who
up
is?
as the
देखिए,
third party.
102.
This is no longer the big brother in the alliance.
See, Congress is 102 seats of the Congress party. Is this the biggest hole? 87 seats for the UBT and 87 seats for the Sharad Pawar NCP. I am asking you, is the 102 the biggest hole? Does Congress deserve to lead in 102 seats in Maharashtra post Haryana?
I think after Haryana, Anand, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress are very keen to defeat the BJP at any cost, even if it means making some sacrifices. Even if
So
it
then who
means
should have been
foregoing
contesting in
some
100 seats, sir? Congress or the UBT and SP? When I say the NCP, Sharad Pawar, why? I'm just asking you. Direct fight में Congress का strike rate क्या है with the BJP? Be it Lok Sabha or be it Haryana. Do regional parties have a better strike rate against the BJP, or does the Congress have a better strike rate?
So that's a conventional line of thinking. But in Lok Sabha,
this is not a figment of my imagination. It's purely borne out by statistics. Correct? Now, if I start reading out the statistics, you're saying you're deliberately coming with an agenda against. I'm not.
No, I'm saying you're right. I'm saying you're right.
So then who should be contesting that?
No,
Don't you think
Anish
Anish Gawande, if he's made a conscious choice of joining the NCP SP, that means he believes that they have a better chance. He didn't go and join the Congress party. So don't you think they merit? And who's the biggest name in Maharashtra politics? And is it Sharad Pawar, or is it, with due respect, Nana Patole?
Anand, it's very simple. Political parties don't stand on principles or prestige or kind of stand that you are taking in this program. They are far more pragmatic. If the idea is to get BJP and BJP Shiv Sena defeated, they'll go anyway.
Is the seat sharing arrangement a pragmatic seat sharing arrangement? Krishna Hegadeji, is the seat sharing? Let me ask you: is the seat sharing arrangement a pragmatic arrangement? The Congress was the number 3 party in 2019 when the elections happened in Maharashtra. Right? It was a number 3. It was far behind. Number 3 being number 4. Far behind. Okay. Lok Sabha 2024, the tone changes. But then you get knocked back in Haryana. BJP single-handedly defeated the Congress. They didn't even need an alliance. Now in Maharashtra, you are saying the regional Chhatrap should fight in 87 seats, but the Congress deserves 102 on what winnability? 2019 ka winnability or the Lok Sabha convergence in 2024? There again. How does it
Anand,
translate to 102 seats? Krishna Hegde ji.
Anand, I will give you just two examples. One, Rashid Bhai said that we don't have an ideology. The Shiv Sena was formed under just two ideologies. In 1966, where Shiv Sena was formed, it was fighting for the sons of soil. And 1987, it was Hindutva. In fact, the first case on Hindutva is against my own family member in the entire India. And that is where the slogan Garv se kaho hum Hindu hai, and Bala Sahib giving all the strong speeches across Maharashtra. And this is the same Bala Sahib who said, Hindu Hriday Samrat Sammanya Bala Sahib Thackeray ji said, जो दिन मुझे कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ मिलाना पड़े मैं मेरी दुकान बंद कर दूंगा. And Congress, which had one Lok Sabha member in Maharashtra, Uddhav Thackeray ji in 2019, when he was with BJP and Shiv Sena, and went to the voters and asked for votes and won the election, went to the Congress just for power, and जो कांग्रेस की दुकान बंद हुई थी महाराष्ट्र में, उसको उद्धव ठाकरे जी ने खोल के रख दिया. So this is Uddhav Thackeray ji for you with the shift of ideology. Secondly, let me tell you that even in Maha Vikas Aghadi, you said that why Congress has got more seats. No, I don't actually know why Congress has got more seats. Basically, they are in a disarray. They don't know whom to fight where. See, we have been accommodative with the BJP, the NCP. Ajit Pawar has been accommodative with us. And we realize that BJP is the bigger brother in Maharashtra. They had 105 MLAs and today they are fighting in 150 odd seats. We had 40 MLAs and we are fighting in close to 80 seats. And Ajit Pawar had another 40 MLAs, but he is fighting in only 56 seats. So it's a give and take between us where we say that, okay, you are the bigger brother and we accept that you are the bigger brother and we've given you, the seats. Thirdly, the policy paralysis in Uddhav Thackeray government, where contractors' money was taken from there, all the infrastructure work, whether the Atal Setu, the metro,
policy paralysis
was shut.
Policy paralysis, corruption.
A Facebook Live government. Facebook Live government.
Policy. उस वक्त Uddhav Thackeray was also ill. So and bulk of the period was also at the time when COVID happened, and COVID set everything in disarray. So there may be arguments about his governance pattern, but there are some other realities. But what I am trying to say is, sir, policy paralysis, corruption, loyalty. ये तीन बात कोई भी पार्टी बीजेपी महाराष्ट्र में कहे तो इट लुक्स लाइक उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे. उसके आगे कुछ भी. एंड थर्ड इज द अदर थिंग इज आइडियोलॉजी. सो ये these 3-4 planks, if you come and start playing, then I will have to. I will not say that sorry, I am not going to bowl these dibbly-dobblies that you can hit. I am going to continue to keep attacking because this none of the parties should talk about, because all these principles and all these thought processes have been thrown out of the window.
Half a second.
Okay, ji.
Commonwealth, Koila, 2G, 3G, Kafan, helicopter, and you name it. Since 2014, because of all this, they have never even come back to power anywhere.
इनमें से कितने लोग जिनके ऊपर आपने आरोप लगाए जेल में गए? How many of them have been convicted and how many cases have been completed? The prosecution has done its job and put them behind bars. That's when I will believe you've truly acted on corruption. Voter vote deta hai nahi deta, that's not the judgment on corruption. Whether when you make an allegation and if you have taken them apart and if you have taken them to task and if you put them behind bars and you convict them, that's what. यहाँ तो लोग 9-9 साल से बाहर बेल में घूम रहे सर, कोई कुछ नहीं किया है. और जिनको जेल में डाला था उनको तो आज टिकट दे रहे हो.
See, that is the issue of the judiciary. We are not telling them give them bail, or we are not telling them give them payroll.
No, sir.
Give them,
burden of proof lies on the prosecution. Prosecution works on behalf of the government. The job of the enforcement agencies is to collect evidence that is provable on the court of law, and that's how you prosecute them. If you have not done it for 10 years, don't make the allegation. And if you are going to co-opt them into your party and then the cases are going to be on a slow burn, then till the time you are in your party, then that's politics. That's not policy.
They are making against us. I'm just showing them.
No, not against you. I'm just saying you are part of a yuti. So credit मिलेगा तो सबको मिलेगा, blame मिलेगा तो सबको मिलेगा. I have to wind up. All the best to all the parties.
10 seconds.
Okay, 10 seconds. 1 second. Okay, 10 seconds. Yes.
I am not talking of imaginary scenarios. The ground realities in the newest MLC elections, the ones which happened just now, our fraction got 133 votes, which is 20 more than our people. So let's remember, this is the latest data and this is indicative of the results
Well,
in a couple of months.
fingers crossed. Like I said, it's festival time. I pray for everybody's good health because
Happy
today is
Dhanteras.
Dhanteras. And I also pray for a competitive, healthy and engaging election in Maharashtra and let the voter decide. On that note, we're going to take a very short break. When we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we move away from Maharashtra and we turn the spotlight into Bangladesh, where the reports are worrying. It's a real case that's just happened, and we get you the pictures. A Pandit being beaten up. The pictures can be disturbing. Stay with us.
Three terrorists have been killed in the Akhnoor encounter. If you recall, yesterday morning at about 7:25 a.m., Monday morning at about 7:25 a.m. at the Shiv temple in the Sundarbani area of Akhnoor, the first contact was made with these terrorists. Now, what we know so far is that these terrorists got in touch with some locals. There were some school-going students who first saw these terrorists allegedly entering the temple with their shoes on. These terrorists, when the locals objected to, these terrorists heckled them, shooed them away. They also asked these school-going students, as per locals, whether they carried a mobile phone or not. Their school bags were also searched, and when no mobile phone was found, they were shooed away. This is perfectly in line with what investigation in other terrorist cases has shown so far, that terrorists infiltrating from across Pakistan are no longer relying on their own mobile telephony. They are depending on locals, taking hotspot for internet services and then connecting their own satellite devices or their own mobile devices and apps that they use on these devices, using the hotspot from the locals so that their location can't be tracked down. So this Akhnoor group of 3 terrorists also asked the locals if they had a mobile phone, and when not finding it, they shooed them away. Now, yesterday itself, the White Knight Corps, which was heading this operation, it had eliminated 1 terrorist, and we lost one of our K9 squad members. Phantom was martyred when he took one of the bullets fired from the terrorist side. NSG, they're the specialized force to carry out operations in enclosed spaces. We are told that these Akhnoor terrorists are hid in a basement of a building which was inside the temple complex, and they continued to fire overnight. Initially, they believed the security forces, the 9 para special commando force, they and the NSG and the SOG of the Jammu and Kashmir police, they were all collaborating for this operation, and they believed that this will be a swift operation, but they did not want to take any chances or endanger any life there. Therefore, they waited overnight, waited till these terrorists exhausted their arms and ammunitions, and this morning at about 7:25, 7:30, the second terrorist was also killed. The third one, the contact was made with the third terrorist, and subsequently he was also eliminated. White Knight Corps has put out an official word in which they have said that warlike store has been recovered. Now, this is also in line with what investigation has shown so far. The terrorists in these areas who are now entering are no longer limiting themselves to high-powered guns, etc. Of course, they have the M4 carbines. We saw the M4 carbine getting used in attacks in Jammu region. We also saw the M4 carbine, which is a US-made, very sharp-edged, assault rifle, get used in Sonmarg also in the Gandarbal attack. Now, what we are told is that they are additionally carrying, target lockers, NVS image stabilization systems, GPS, and very high-tech. And this warlike store that White Knight Corps is confirming only adds to this view that this group has recently infiltrated from the Manavar Tavi river in that particular area, and they wanted to carry out a big attack against an army installation, but they were thwarted only after they fired on the army vehicle, including an ambulance. Now that these three have been killed, all recoveries made from them are being analyzed to understand whether there are more people part of their group. The intelligence input seems to
It's a brutal series of attacks against Hindus in Bangladesh. CNN News 18 has accessed fresh images of a brutal attack on a Hindu boy over in Bangladesh. A Hindu family of Thakurgaon has alleged that after Sheikh Hasina's exit, there is a desperate bid to grab their land. Islamists, radicals, fundamentalists attacking them and are not allowing them to offer puja at their temple. Now, these are visuals of Ashish Chandra Roy, that's his name, who built a temple in his own land. But on Monday, when he came to offer puja at the Shiva temple, he was attacked by radicals with arms. They tried to hit him badly, cleaved him, and look at that. These are pictures, visuals of them, the locals there with arms, openly threatening, and they're bearing arms. There you see those pictures. Now on the right stand, we show you visuals of Ashish when he was being targeted by radicals brandishing arms.
আপনাদের এই জমিগুলোর কাগজপত্র কেমন কি আপনাদের আছে আপনাদের নামে আছে কি
হ্যাঁ আমরা এই জমিগুলো মূলত 35 সূত্রে প্রাপ্ত এগুলো আমাদের ক্রয় করা বা দলিল করা কোনো সম্পত্তি না আচ্ছা এগুলো আমাদের বাপ দাদু থেকে করে আসতেছে আর যেটা বিষয় যে আমাদের এস রেকর্ড এবং সিএস রেকর্ড দুইটাই আমাদের আর মাঝখানে একটা পক্ষ আসতেছে যেটা সরকার পক্ষ যারা 1958 সালে একটা গেজেট দেখাচ্ছে তো সেই গেজেটের পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে 2023 সালে বালাডাঙ্গি উপজেলা ভূমি অফিস থেকে মানে এসিডেন্ট অফিস থেকে এসিডেন্ট মহোদয় গিয়েছিল সেখানে লাল ফ্ল্যাগ আর একটা গণবিজ্ঞপ্তি দিয়েছিল যেখানে বলা হয়েছিল যে এই সম্পত্তিটি সরকারের এখানে সরকার তার প্রকল্প স্থান করবে তার পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে আমরা স্থানীয় সরকার মাননীয় তখন সংসদ সদস্য ছিলেন রবিউল ইসলাম তার কাছে আসি বলতেছি যে এগুলো কিছু না এগুলো কিছু কুচক্রি মহলের ষড়যন্ত্র তোমরা জমিতে থাকো জমিটা তোমরা শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে ভোগ করো তো যেহেতু এখানে একটা গণবিজ্ঞপ্তি দেওয়া হয়েছে সেক্ষেত্রে আমরা বিভিন্ন উকিলের সাথে বোঝাপড়া করি এবং তাদের আলোকেই আমরা একটা ঢাকা হাইকোর্টে রিট করি কারণ সেখানে যেহেতু আমাদের সরকার পক্ষ বাধা দিচ্ছিল এই জন্য আমরা রিট করি এবং পরবর্তীতে আর সরকার পক্ষ থেকে কোনো ব্যক্তি উপরে যায়নি ওখানে বাধা করতে যায়নি তো তারপর আমরা শান্তিপূর্ণভাবে ছিলাম 5 তারিখেই যেটা হলো আর কি অনাকাঙ্ক্ষিত ঘটনা তারা নাকি জোরপূর্বক দখল করে খাবে আমাদের ভারত পাঠানোর ব্যবস্থা হবে আমাদের যেখানে সেখানে হামলা করার চেষ্টা করবে এবং গত 28 তারিখে তারা সফল হয়েছে আমার উপর আক্রমণ করে
এটাই নাকি
মানে আমাদের 5 তারিখে সরকার প্রধান
মানে যেটা যে জমিটা পড়ে আছে এই জমিটাই
এইটা সম্পূর্ণটাই আমাদের হিন্দুদের
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
5 তারিখে সরকার প্রধান হওয়ার পর আমাদের শ্মশান ঘাটে মন্দির ভাঙছে
শ্মশান ঘাটে মন্দির
ছিল টিনের ঘরটা জ্বালাই দিছে
ওরা হচ্ছে বিরোধী পক্ষের লোক ওই যে আতিউর মশির মোয়াক্ষের এবং তফিজুল এরাই ওদের ভাড়া করে নিয়ে আসছে আমাদের এই জমিটা জবরদস্তি দখল করার জন্য হাল এবং কি হালও নিয়ে আসছে
যারা আসছিল ওরা কি জমির মালিক
না ওদের কিছুই নাই ওরা ভূমিদস্যু
আচ্ছা ওরা ভাড়াটিয়া করে আসছে
ভাড়াটিয়া গুন্ডা নিয়ে আসছে ওরা
Hindol Sengupta, author, commentator, analyst with us. Hindol, namaste. We're also a historian. Now, is history rife with such instances? Is history repeating itself? And if this is what's happening in Bangladesh, what can Bharat do? And are the Bharatiya watching?
This was always going to happen, Anand. And, you know, I'm so saddened that we are seeing this on the auspicious occasion of Dhanteras. This was always going to happen. This is the side of Islamism that we always feared would unfold in Bangladesh. But you asked me about history. Well, this is exactly what happened in the great Calcutta killings. I grew up in Calcutta. On direct action day of Jinnah, what happened? This is exactly what happened. This has been happening for years and years. What happened under the Mughals? This is what happened. What happened in every part of the country where Islamist iconoclasm has grown. This is exactly what has happened. And we always said, including on your show, Anand, that in Bangladesh, Yunus is the face, Islamists are the real strength on the street and on the villages. And this is exactly what is unfolding week on week, day by day. So this comes as no surprise. It is hugely saddening. The only thing that can stop this is that the Hindus of Bangladesh, which are not very small in number, they have to come together and fight back. This is the kind of spirit and Shatru Bodh that the Hindus must understand now, and they should really gather together, organize, and fight back.
And this doesn't seem to be limited to only one particular section of the minorities in Bangladesh or the Hindu society in Bangladesh. This is across the board. So it's not that there is a particular caste slant or a particular regional slant. It's just across the board with the number of instances that we are seeing.
Well, Anand, look at the history. I mean, you know the history too. You look at the earlier histories, attacks on Durga Puja, attacks on the temples, including the Dhakeshwari temple, which is up on which Dhaka gets its name, attacks on the Ramakrishna Mission, attacks on ISKCON, killing monks. Essentially, what is the baseline of all of this violence, Anand? The baseline is that anything apart from Islam will not be allowed to survive. And if it survives, it will actually be killed and mauled and, brazen to the ground. And this, of course, cannot be done in one day. And, the Islamists in Bangladesh know this. So this fire will keep burning now incessantly in village after village, town after town, until in 20-30 years, the entire eradication of Hindus happen in Bangladesh, exactly what has happened in Pakistan. The trajectory is exactly the same. This is the great dream of the Jamaat. This is the great dream of the Hizb ut-Tahrir. This is the great dream of the Ansar. They're all united together in this dream of eliminating, if they could, Anand, allow me to say this, if they could, they would have done it in one day with utter bloodshed. They know they can't. There's too much, international pressure from India, all kinds of things. And the Hindus are too many in Bangladesh.
Right.
Because they can't do it in one day. This trickle will now incessantly continue until by the time your children and mine are, old enough, it'll come to a point where there will be no Hindus left in Bangladesh, or a negligible number of Hindus. They also will be raped and murdered and converted exactly the way that happens in Pakistan.
Right. Very strong words there, and also you're saying that there is a continuum. So they'll work on a plan, no matter how long it takes. They will eventually, ensure that there is just them and nobody else. That's the Islamist thought that you're highlighting, and it's visible over decades, and if not nearly a millennia now here in this part of the world. Thank you for your inputs, Hindol, but please stay on with us. When we come back, we turn the spotlight towards Canada, ladies and gentlemen, where while journalists in Canada are outing those who are lobbying against Bharat to be part of the Chinese lobby, here on CNN News 18, we bring to you proof that Pakistan diplomats are openly fueling K-extremism and anti-Bharat rhetoric in Canada. Stay with us.
Brought to you by
3 terrorists have been killed in the Akhnoor encounter. If you recall, yesterday morning at about 7:25 a.m., Monday morning at about 7:25 a.m. at the Shiv temple in the Sundarbani area of Akhnoor, the first contact was made with these terrorists. Now, what we know so far is that these terrorists got in touch with some locals. There were some school-going students who first saw these terrorists allegedly entering the temple with their shoes on. These terrorists, when the locals objected to, these terrorists heckled them, shooed them away. They also asked these, school-going students, as per locals, whether they carried a mobile phone or not. Their school bags were also searched, and when no mobile phone was found, they were shooed away. This is perfectly in line with what investigation in other terrorist cases has shown so far, that terrorists infiltrating from across Pakistan are no longer relying on their own mobile telephony. They are depending on locals, taking hotspot for internet services, and then connecting their own satellite devices or their own mobile devices and apps that they use on these devices, using the hotspot from the locals so that their location can't be tracked down. So this Akhnoor group of 3 terrorists also asked the locals if they had a mobile phone, and when not finding it, they shoot them away. Now, yesterday itself, the White Knight Corps, which was heading this operation, it had eliminated 1 terrorist, and we had lost one of our K9 squad members. Phantom was martyred when he took one of the bullets fired from the terrorist side. NSG, they're the specialized force to carry out operations in enclosed spaces. We are told that these Akhnoor terrorists are hid in a basement of a building which was inside the temple complex, and they continued to fire overnight. Initially, they believed the security forces, the 9 para special commando force, they and the NSG and the SOG of the Jammu and Kashmir police, they were all collaborating for this operation, and they believed that this will be a swift operation, but they did not want to take any chances or endanger any life there. Therefore, they waited overnight, waited till these terrorists exhausted their arms and ammunition, and this morning at about 7:25, 7:30, the second terrorist was also killed. The third one, the contact was made with the third terrorist, and subsequently he was also eliminated. White Knight Corps has put out an official word in which they have said that warlike store has been recovered. Now, this is also in line with what investigation has shown so far. The terrorists in these areas who are now entering are no longer limiting themselves to high-powered guns, etc. Of course, they have the M4 carbines. We saw the M4 carbine getting used in attacks in Jammu region. We also saw the M4 carbine, which is a US-made, very sharp, assault rifle, get used in Sonmarg also in the Gandarbal attack. Now, what we are told is that they are additionally carrying, target lockers, NVS image stabilization systems, GPS, and very high-tech. And this warlike store that White Knight Corps is confirming only adds to this view that this group has recently infiltrated from the.
Under fire, Justin Trudeau continues to give platform to Bharat's foes. Top intelligence sources have told CNN News 18 that Pakistan diplomats are fueling Khalistan's anti-Bharat rhetoric. Pakistan is the source country or source nation for drug trafficking in Canada. Canadian agencies knew about this and they have flagged this multiple times. Narco trade money is being distributed to K operatives or Khalistani operatives. The ISI in recent years has penetrated deep into the immigration cartel, hiring Indian youth for gangsters and the drug smuggling racket and using them during anti-India protests. That's what intel sources are telling CNN News 18. The drug cartel has also been forcing girls from Punjab into prostitution, business sources added. The penetration of Pakistan in Trudeau's party is very key and important to note, ladies and gentlemen. Bilal Chima is close to them and is operating on behalf of the ISI, which is funding Trudeau. Chima was involved in major thefts of Visa and MasterCards of the Liberal Party and was saved by Sukh Dhaliwal. Whenever Justin Trudeau comes to British Columbia and stays in their homes, that's what sources have added. The International Sikh Federation is at the root of this drug business in Canada. They raised the cadre initially and started this business under the banner of the ISF with the involvement of gangsters such as the International Sikh Federation, Bindi Johal, Jimmy Dosanjh, gangs of Johal, Dhagdure, Sangera, Malhi Buttar and the Kangs. They feature regularly in these drug seizures, gang wars and other criminal activities. That's what intel sources have further added. Canadian gangs are interested in the cheap import of heroin from Afghanistan and Pakistan and Punjab. They export refined drugs besides cocaine and ice to Punjab, intel sources further added. The Canadian drug trafficking network, according to the cops, extends to US and India. Illicit drugs are brought into Canada from California and India. The Toronto police on the 23rd of June 2021 arrested 20 people, including 9 of Punjab origin. The police seized more than 1,000 kilograms of cocaine, crystal meth and marijuana being transported between Mexico, California and Canada using modified tractor trailers. The cops stated that recoveries included 444 kilograms of cocaine, 182 kilograms of crystal meth, 427 kilograms of marijuana, 300 oxycodone pills, $966,020 in Canadian currency, 21 vehicles including 5 tractor trailers and 1 firearm. The overall drug haul was nearly $61 million worth, ladies and gentlemen. In Canada, 21% of gangsters who died in gang wars or police operations since 2006 were of Punjabi origin. The ISI is using Khalistani terrorists to smuggle narcotics and provide funds for anti-India activities. Now, Hindol Sen Gupta with us. We should have Ambassador Ashok Sajjanar also joining us in a bit. More importantly, Hindol, what comes to the fore is the likes of Gurpatwant Panun attending events at the Pak High Commission in London. Pakistani ISI agents and officials in regular mix with these K gangs. And it's all happening under the watchful eyes of the CSIS and the RCMP.
But who's exactly surprised, Anand? I mean, from the time the Khalistan flag has existed and the Khalistan map has existed, it has been absolutely clear. If we don't know anything about Khalistan, we know one thing. It has been fueled with ISI money from the very beginning. That is why the great kingdom of Maharaja Ranjit Singh, Lahore, does not feature in the Khalistani map. But of course, large parts of India, even Gujarat features in it, but not Lahore, only because it has been fueled with ISI. This is deeply infiltrated by the ISI. Of course, the other thing is also true. This has always been fueled with drug money. It is part of the great drug sort of route from Afghanistan onwards through Pakistan via the Punjab to the west. This is a well-known terrible route of drug trafficking, and it has always been, the Khalistani business has always been trafficked and fueled by drug money, by narcotics money, by cocaine money. And the gang wars, as you were pointing out in Canada, what is those gang wars about? They are gang wars about control of the narcotics, about the cocaine trade. Because from Canada, where does the cocaine trade go? It goes to the world's most lucrative market, America. So this is very, very well known. You know, today we are talking, I'm so glad we are talking a lot about this because of all the, idiotic things that Justin Trudeau has done. But this Panun and all these characters, they are deeply entrenched. Khalistan is only the ideology. Behind the ideology, the cash is cocaine. And we have to recognize that, Anand.
True, and we'll have to do this cartographic exercise soon, and we'll do this here on the right stand to try and expose this entire K gang, because the rule of Punjab, the Punjab, erstwhile Punjab Dominion and the Punjab rulers, the Sikh rule, extended even into Nepal and into Tibet, today's Tibet. It extended all the way. It also extended into Gilgit-Baltistan. It covered all this entire region. All of that is very safely done away with. It's only land marked in Bharat that makes part of this entire terrorist outfit's K agenda, where they want to cause a referendum. Nankana Sahib, Kartarpur Sahib, like you mentioned, none of that the Sikhs don't want. The birthplace of Guru Nanak Dev they've ignored it altogether. And Punjab region extended all the way not just into Pakistan but also into Afghanistan. That's why there are Sikhs in Afghanistan who also fled during partition. But there was Sikh there, they were Sikh there too. So those lands are not talked about. Ambassador Ashok Sajjanar, why did we allow this all this while? We knew that these elements are being fed and being brought up there in Canada. And there's a narrative brewing since the Kanishk bombings. From then, humko pata hai. Why haven't we acted? Have we just let these sleeping dogs lie? Have we just tried to look the other way? And now that they've woken up, they're actually biting us hard.
Thank you very much, Anand. I think that is part of the problem. You know, we've been going soft. We've been sort of, looking at issues that have come. You know, the urgent have taken precedence over the important. You know, what we knew has existed, but we have not taken action because, if it was not really creating a problem. But if you permit, Anand, let me also make one more point here. That, while it is very well known that, it is the ISI and Pakistani funding that has been coming, but if the host governments, whether it is in the United States or in Canada, they were aware, they could have taken action against these operatives. But if they have not, that means they have their own interest to serve, they have their own interest to take forward. And in that context, you know, why Gurpatwant Singh Pannu, when he makes these threats against, bombing another Air India airline, and they should not be traveling in that, making threats against the Indian Prime Minister, against all sorts of, senior Indian ministers and officials, going around and creating arson and vandalism and destruction on the San Francisco Consulate General of India. Basically all that because it is, as has been rumored, that Gurpatwant Singh Pannu is a CIA operative. It's a CIA asset, as indeed was Hardeep Singh Nijjar, because he was...
Is it so difficult for us to prove this on a world stage? Ambassador Saab, I'm interrupting you, but if we know this, why can't we prove this? Do we have photographic evidence? Do we not see Pannu moving around, and he's got these bodyguards who are also traveling with him? Is it so difficult to identify them as FBI agents or CBI, CIA intel operators? Is it so difficult for us? Why don't we expose them?
No, it is not difficult for us at all. But I think it is like the question of, as far as Pakistan is concerned, 26/11, it happened. We had all the evidence. We had not only the intel, but we have hard evidence. And you prepare dossiers and you present to Pakistan. But they are not willing to take cognizance of that. And they say that the evidence is not good enough. Similarly, as far as, Gurpatwant Singh Pannu is concerned, if it is their asset, which I'm certain it is, whatever evidence that you prepare, whatever evidence that you furnish, of course, it will not be taken at face value. It is not, strong enough.
Sir, हम तो evidence बोल रहे हैं ना, वो तो credible allegations पे हमको बदनाम करने में लगा हुआ है. He's gone to the level to talk about these with credible allegations. If we can prove, let's put out proof, and we'll keep saying the same things what they continue to harp without any ounce of proof. But we have evidence. And we'll keep telling them and we'll keep exposing them. Let's play. Why do we hesitate to play their game? Yes, now we are standing up. Hindol, do you believe that this time around at least we have not backed off? We've given it back in equal measure. Or could we have done more?
I think we've done a lot. Could we have done more? You can always do more. But I think within the scope and the context, we have done a lot. I think we have to push back very hard against Canada, and we have done that. We needed to, now is not the time to really push back that hard with America. There's a time and place for everything. And I think, with the evidence that America provided us, we cooperated, and that was the right thing to do. But it was very, very important to nip it in the bud in Canada, which is the source of all this nonsense. And Justin Trudeau's government is an active participant. It is not merely the overarching government. It is an active participant in all of this, including in the, I would argue that including in the propagation of the nefarious Khalistan movement. At least many supporters of Justin Trudeau are certainly part of this, including Jagmeet Singh and so on and so forth. So I think we push back really, really hard. And I think that's very important. And I think going forward, we must push back even further. Please remember, because Ambassador Sajjanar is here, I want to make the point. Remember this. Our ambassador was threatened with assassination in Canada. Billboards were put up, putting a bounty to his head. If the IFS and the IAS and the entire bureaucracy and the government still cannot wake up and push back at that juncture, that would have been truly pathetic. Therefore, I'm really proud and happy that, when lines were crossed, a real pushback happened at a very vigorous level, which was the right thing to do.
Right. The final 30 seconds that I have. But Ambassador Sajjanar, can we push harder? Can we not really make them pay? We can always hide behind the veil of plausible deniability. That's another part. We can literally go to and prove to them that हम घुस के मारेंगे बोलते नहीं कर भी सकते हैं. We've not done that so far.
आप बिल्कुल ठीक कह रहे हैं आनंद. मेरे विचार से देखिए, अगर उन्होंने 18 सितंबर 2023 को अगर उनके प्राइम मिनिस्टर gets up in the Canadian Parliament, and he has the chutzpah and the audacity to say that I have credible allegations against India, I think we should have really gone after him in a much stronger way.
Right.
What he did on right now, after they named our High Commissioner as person of interest, I think we should have taken a similar umbrage at that time and sort of, read out the Riot Act to Justin Trudeau. or even when he tried to meddle in India's affairs when the
during the farmers' protest.
agitation was going on here, farmers' agitation.
I think we gave him too much of a long rope, perhaps.
Absolutely. That's
and
what
we
I
are in
think.
agreement. Sir, I've run out of time, but we'll take this conversation forward, especially with the cartographic aspects, and expose them further here on The Right Stand. For the moment, thank you very much for watching, but stay on with us. Brass Tacks with Zakir right now.
Good evening, this is Brass Tacks. I'm Zakir Jacob. The battle for Maharashtra has now begun in right earnest. Today was the last day for filing of nominations, and nothing describes the Maharashtra election better than a khichdi. It is so convoluted and so complex and so complicated that even allies are fighting each other. Yesterday's enemies are today's friends. Today, on the last day of the filing of nomination, a dramatic turn of events. Nawab Malik, a man who the BJP despises. In fact, they sent him to jail. They accused him of being a Dawood Ibrahim henchman. Today, that same Nawab Malik is fighting on an NCP Ajit Pawar ticket. He is the NCP Ajit Pawar official candidate for Mankhurd in Mumbai. There is also a Shiv Sena Shinde candidate on